Hello, and welcome to the Xisuminati Wastelands installation tutorial. In this short tutorial, I want to help you install Xisuminati Wastelands, which is my modification to Xumavoid's Xisuminati modpack. The Xisuminati modpack was created by Joe Tato and maintained by Joe Tato, and is used on the Xumavoid's Patreon server. I have made some small changes to this pack to make the Wasteland add-on, which is what we will be installing here. However, I will be first showing you how to install the unmodified pack, so this tutorial should walk you through both operations. Let's see. So that's, I think, the introduction to this. The two changes I have made, by the way, is adding two mods. One is my own mod, the Wastelands terrain generation that you see on the background image here. And the other is RF tools to allow us to get out of the Wastelands eventually in the progression of the pack, or an option to leave the Wastelands in the progression of the pack. Okay, so assuming you have a Minecraft account and you have nothing on your computer pre-installed for mod packs, we will start walking you from there. And the first thing you're going to need is the ATLauncher, because the ATLauncher is where the Xisuminati mod pack is distributed. And the ATLauncher, if you don't know, is an alternate to the standard Minecraft launcher. So you still need your Minecraft ID and an account, but we will not be using the Minecraft launcher to run these mod packs. So first you go to this URL here, and I'm going to have all these URLs in the description, so you will be able to get them. And once you're at this URL, we just go to the downloads pane over here. And if you need specific instructions, they have their installation in, but you're just going to want to select the Windows EXE, assuming you're on Windows. I have not tried the .app for Mac, but I assume you click that if you want Mac. And if you are running Linux, simply, usually with OpenJDK 8, run the jar file, you'll be fine. But on Windows, we want the Windows EXE. Now that it has downloaded, we're just going to click and go Show in Folder. We're going to copy this and then make a new folder on your desktop or wherever. This can be anywhere on your computer where you have some space. This is where all the mods and your save files will be, and this can easily be a couple hundred megabytes more if you explore your world a bunch. So wherever you have room is where you want to put it, not necessarily your desktop. But once it's here, now we can double click. And you're going to probably want to uncheck this, because every time you want to run anything in the ATLauncher, you're going to want to run this. And if you do not have Java already installed, you're going to get this message. Bear with me. It's going to direct you here. Close this window. We do not want that. We want to go to this Oracle download link right here. And this will direct us to the more dev version of Java. Now you might be saying, I'm not a developer, why do I want this? The answer is you don't, but the Java Runtime edition right here, this lowest one here, is going to have less extras that Oracle is trying to add in for you. And if you do not have Java yet installed, you do not need the extras. All we want is Java to be able to run client, pre-downloaded applications. The security risk of that on Java is very low because it's just a local application. Any native application could do the same things to your computer. But we do not want it in your web browser. We do not want special add-ons to your web browser, all that fun stuff we want to avoid. So you just want this JRE link right here, and you want to click download. It's going to give you all this stuff about license agreements. Make sure you go accept. And then you want to download JRE 8U60. This version may change in future, but the Windows x64 version right here, .exe. Okay, and now it has downloaded. So again, we go show in folder. Actually, we could just go open, but we are just going to run this right now. You want to agree, because this needs to install your Oracle environment. Welcome to Java. I like to check this just so I have the extra agreement, the extra ability to choose things. On the other hand, I am just going to install to the normal folder. If you do need to change drives or something, this is where you would do it. Okay, and now the installation is complete. You might get this message, you might not. But we are going to double check this setting in a moment in this control panel. So whether or not you see exactly this or not, do not worry at this point in time. And you will get that. Okay. Now you want to go configure Java, and this is where we're going to ensure a couple of settings are correct. This is to create no surprises on their behalf, because Oracle has taken a few liberties in recent history to various Windows users out there. So, first, update, uncheck, check automatic for automatic updates, do not check. I am all for updating usually, and you may come in here again and use the update now when you need to. But since we're only going to be running local applications, in case something breaks or changes, you don't want Minecraft to start behaving differently. Also, come here to security and ensure that if this is checked, uncheck it. It should be unchecked. Once these two are done, the rest should be all okay already. We don't have to worry about that. Just press apply and press OK. Okay, now Java is configured to not bug you, but to work. And now we can launch ATLauncher. Oops, cancel. Not that version, that's the one in my downloads directory. We want to launch the one in that ATL directory. Just launch the ATLauncher icon. And it's going to download a bunch of stuff for its own use. Okay, you will see this message. You're probably fine with the defaults. Obviously, if you have another language, choose it. Here we are. Now you are in ATLauncher. Now what you want to do is sign into your account. You go to the Accounts tab here, and this will be your usual login for Minecraft. This is probably your email address that you have used on the service. I will be right back once I am logged in. Okay, and now that you have logged in, you should see your little icon down here, which will let you choose multiple accounts if you have them. Now we want to go packs on the side here, and that will let me go find the Xisuminati mod pack here. Now, simply click New Instance. If you are just wanting to play Xisuminati, you can probably just click Install Now, but I recommend for us to put the Wastelands here in the name. That'll make sure it's a separate instance. You can always come back here and reinstall from the pack screen here another Xisuminati instance if you want to play both the main pack and my modification. If you get this, you can press OK. We just installed Java 8. At least for my modification, you almost certainly want Journey Mac, and I recommend you check it. Fastcraft you might want, but will not automatically install, so we will not bother for now. Once you have this, press install. Okay, and now it has finally installed. You might have noticed a few sizable downloads in that. This is why I said to install it where you want. Now if you click the instances over here, you'll have various instances. Now as I said, if you were to reinstall right now, new instance, it would make another entry on this instances tab. That means you can have multiple instances. In fact, an upgrade note right here. If the pack ever upgrades and you want to upgrade my modification, you should wait till I declare another add-on package, or declare the current add-on package adequate. However, what you would want to do is make a new instance and copy your save over. We will get to all this later. Now what we want to do is modify this instance, however. So for now, we're just going to hide this and this. And we're going to go back to my notes document here, where we can go to the add-on itself, which is this zip file. And you're just going to need to download it. And this is a small zip file, so no worries there. We want to go show in folder. We just want to go extract all. And extract. Now that it's extracted right here, we can open up this, and in this README you will find instructions on how to do this installation, but since you're watching the video, we will go through it manually. Assuming you're going to use ATLauncher to launch the pack, we just want to go edit mods here, just to ensure ATLauncher knows about the mods we are adding. So it's add mod, select, navigate to your directory here. Okay, now that we are here, we go into mods, and we click the first one, and we hold shift. While holding shift, click RF tools. That'll highlight all three, and click open. You'll see this, make sure it's mod folder, click add, and then select all three and enable mod. And that'll move them over here to enabled mods, and thus the pack will use them. Okay, close, and now go open folder. This will open the folder of all your save stuff, so in here will be the saves directory once we have it set up, the mods and the config. What we first want to go is go into config, and go into config in that downloaded add-ons folder. Simply copy both of these and paste them in here. You want to copy and replace. So the one we were replacing, by the way, should have been the micropox. Yeah, this one. And if we go open with Notepad, you will see all it really added was this line, which allows better integration with my mod. Okay, so now that we have done that, we have the configs updated. And we just want to copy saves in here. If there's already a save, all you need to do is copy this directory, because that is your save game. This is the save game to get you started in the Wastelands environment. If you ever need to reset your game, just wrong window. Just copy this back into this directory, you'll be good. Also, if you back up the files in here, that gives you backups of your saves should something go wrong. That is very important when updating packs. Okay, so now that we have done all of that, we can actually just click play in here, and that is how you launch the file. And if you haven't saved your password, you will need to re-enter it. Okay, and after you waited that long, you probably now, at last, see the Minecraft screen, 81 mods loaded, and all is hopefully well. If we go into single player, you'll see that save file you just dragged in, and we can play it to start the mod pack. The mod pack. Should you find things slow, there's a few things you can do. The first thing you can do is if it feels just jerky at regular intervals, you might try changing some of the settings. So you go to Settings tab here, you go to Java Minecraft, and you can copy this line in if you have a quad-core or better processor. If you don't have that good of computer, you may not be able to tune this to your needs. I can't help you there. Another thing to keep in mind is these values here. Now, this should be a decent starting point. You might actually want to, with my command line, to increase this to 512, because how my command line is crafted, it is unlikely to succeed in less than that. Many mod packs need more than 124. You're probably best off going to... this mod pack is probably best off with these settings. 512 to this. You can safely use this. It'll only use what it needs. So let's just assume this is going to be your starting settings for now. 512, 248, and this new command line. Once you have that, press save, and the mod pack will use the new settings moving forward. Obviously, for this to work, you ideally want 4 GB of RAM, although this pack should work with 3 GB of RAM total. But if you do not have like 6 or more gigabytes of RAM, please do close your web browser when you launch the instance, otherwise things will be laggy. Okay, that was the simple update, just putting in those lines and updating those figures, and you can of course play with those to your own system's needs. Let's see. The next thing is there's a couple of mods we can add that'll speed things up. The first one I recommend is Better FPS. Better FPS will increase your frames per second by using a better math algorithm for some of the 3D work in the background. First we copy this, and we go into the web browser, and this is going to send us to Minecraft forms. At which point you can download the 1.710 version right down here. Just wait a few seconds while this screen goes by. And you want to keep that. Also, while we are browsing the web, we want from this industrial craft form, Fastcraft. But if you're only installing one, I recommend Better FPS over Fastcraft. If you run into problems, Fastcraft is more likely your problem. But we can download that from right here. And we'll keep that file too. Again, back to the ATLauncher. And we want to go edit mods again. Add mods. And we want to go select from the downloads folder both the Better FPS, and if we hold Control and press on Fastcraft, they'll both be highlighted. Click Open. Both to Mods folder, Add, and then we can enable them. If you really don't want one, you can always disable the mod. You know, these are disabled right now. When we go Enable Mod, they're enabled. And if we highlight one, we can always disable it again. Disabled mods will not load when you run the pack. But with those two mods loaded and your changes to settings, you will hopefully see an improvement when you run your instance when you press play. I think that concludes optimization. Just one last note on upgrades. All of the information I've given you now and future information are in the installation guideline here. This is my installation document on Google Docs. This will include everything I have included, detailed instructions as we have just described them in this video, and a chart at the bottom. This chart tells you which release of mine it is. This is the base pack. That's the version number of the actual Xisuminati pack. That is the add-on version number. And this is my initial release. So should the pack update and I think this add-on works fine with it, I will just add a line 2 with the new version of the base pack and version 1.0.1. If I need to change my add-ons, that will change this value. Basically, what this is saying is when you look at the links above, that'll tell you what file to get. So here is your current add-on file. Currently, obviously, there's only one entry, but all information will be in this document of how to upgrade in future. And when you do upgrade, what I recommend is you make a new instance of the pack here, and you would call it Wastelands 2, and you would do the normal install yet again. And then simply, when you go open folder here, you just simply want to copy your save file from this one to your new instance. That way your save will come along, but all the other files will be properly updated, even with all the other modifications you have to do on the way without incidents. It also, since you will want to copy that save, will keep a backup of your world before the update in case something goes wrong. I think that concludes the tutorial, and I hope that has helped you out.